What if I told you that a boy with no money, no connections, and empty pockets could still build a life bigger than people born with everything? What if the only thing he had was a powerful way of thinking? This is not just a story. This is a reminder. And by the end of this video, you might never look at your own life the same way again. A small forgotten town, far away from skyscrapers and luxury cars, lived a boy named Daniel. No one noticed him. No one expected anything from him. And honestly, no one believed he would ever escape poverty. But Daniel had something invisible. Something no one could steal. Something that would later change his destiny forever. White right pointing backhand index, the power of thinking big. Daniel was born into a family that struggled to survive. His father worked long hours for minimum wage. His mother cleaned houses just to put food on the table. Some nights, dinner was nothing more than bread and water. Daniel's pockets were always empty. But what hurt more was the feeling that the world had already decided his future. At school, other kids talked about college, careers, and dreams. Daniel stayed quiet, not because he had no dreams, but because he was afraid to say them out loud. One day, while cleaning an old storage room at school, Daniel found a torn book lying in the dust. The title caught his eye: Think Big and Grow Rich. He opened it and read one sentence that would follow him for the rest of his life. Your life will never be bigger than the way you think. That night, Daniel couldn't sleep. He kept asking himself one question. White right pointing backhand index, what if my problem isn't money, but my thinking? Daniel realized something powerful. Most people don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they think too small. They expect little, so they receive little. Daniel decided that night to think bigger than his circumstances. He started visualizing a different future. Not fantasy, but belief. He imagined himself successful, confident, free, even though his pockets were empty. His mind was becoming rich. Daniel didn't wait for motivation. He read books at the public library. He listened to free motivational talks online. He asked questions. He learned skills. While others complained about their situation, Daniel asked, White right pointing backhand index, how can I grow? He worked after school, saved every dollar, failed again and again, but he refused to think like a poor man. People laughed at him. You're dreaming too big. Be realistic. People like us don't succeed. But Daniel understood something they didn't. White right pointing backhand index, big thinking scares small minds. So he kept going. Quietly. Relentlessly. Years later, Daniel faced his biggest failure. A business idea collapsed. His savings were gone. He was back to zero. Standing alone one night, he remembered his empty childhood pockets. And then he smiled. Because this time, his pockets were empty, but his mind was not. Daniel tried again. This time smarter. This time stronger. He applied everything he had learned. Slowly, results came. Clients, opportunities, growth. What changed? White right pointing backhand index, not luck, not money, not connections. His thinking changed. Daniel eventually built a successful life. But more important than money, he built belief. He learned that thinking small keeps you stuck. Thinking big opens doors. Thinking big attracts opportunities. Thinking big changes how you act. White right pointing backhand index, your thoughts shape your future. If you're watching this and struggling, if your pockets feel empty, if life feels unfair, remember this. You don't need money to start. You don't need approval to begin. You don't need permission to dream. You need belief. Your current situation is not your final destination. Think bigger than your fears. Think bigger than your past. Think bigger than your bank account. Because the moment you change the way you think, white right pointing backhand index, you change the direction of your life. If this story inspired you, thumbs up sign like this video. Speech balloon comment I think big if you're ready to change your mindset. Pushpin share this with someone who needs motivation today. Bell subscribe for more life-changing stories.